Hi, this is Kathy. Today I'm going to be doing like a ocean scene, like a spray of ocean. I want to really put in the colors. This is a deep blue that I have, like a aquamarine. I also have like a turquoise, light turquoise, and a dark turquoise. And then I have the white. And I also have the sand color, which is a little bit lighter than what's on there right now. I put the darker on there with the hopes of having it kind of show through as I spray things onto it. So um, I think it will come out okay. And I'm just going to pour this right across the top there. And, just pour it all over. And whatever shows through, and whatever doesn't, doesn't. But I'm just trying to get it a little bit lighter in areas and maybe a little darker. And I'm going to be blowing the paint out with a hair dryer later, so some of it will show through and some of it won't with different colors. But right now I'm just really trying to get that across so it'll look like sand. Later I do plan on putting once I get all my colors on and my sprays, my water and all that, then, and it dries, I am going to have an area where maybe I will actually spread Mod Podge across it and then put some sand and some shells and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll look nice too. But right now I'm just spreading it out, getting it on the sides, kind of covering the areas in that. I will also put frames, white frames, just plain frames right around all three of these. So I'm going to put them up as a triptych. And which just the three of them will kind of go across the wall. I have a large wall in my family room that I want to put these up on. So just kind of spread your bottom out and get across the sides. And it really doesn't matter where the paint goes right now because we're going to be mixing it all together anyway. Just kind of letting it do its thing. I've mixed my paints and I have put um, silicone in it, in the colors and the white. I didn't put it in the sand though, or the sand color. Just the colors and the white, just a couple of drops in each one of them, so that I do want cells so that it'll look like bubbly water and kind of like a spray in the ocean, like you're really getting a close-up of the ocean when I'm done. So, and I'm going to put blue across the top, dark blue. I'm going to start with the dark blue right across the top. And now I'm going to lean myself right into the paint that I put on the bottom. So it's a good thing. Make sure you wear old clothes that you can actually get paint on, because you will. And I'm just kind of throwing this across the top, because like I say, we're actually going to mix it all in together. And then I'm going to put the lighter blue, a lighter blue underneath that. And I'm going to kind of gradually go down from the dark blue to a lighter blue and all the way like to the sand. And I want it to kind of look like an ombre where it blends into one another. And then the silicone is going to create the cells that will blend the paints together and make it look like a bubbly ocean type thing. Like I say, just mix it all around. And then underneath that, the lighter blue. And like I say, I do have silicone in all of these colors, just about 2 or 3 drops. Now, because you're going across the canvas like that, when you hang them together, they are going to look like they belong to one another, because you have the lines will come up exactly where you need them to be, to make it look like a complete, picture. Next, I'm just going to kind of wiggle them around a little bit to get those colors to blend together a little bit, and kind of float them into one another, from top to bottom and side to side, so it kind of comes down the side. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to take my hands and go through it anyway, but at least try to get the paint all over the canvas a little bit. I don't have a lot of space here. If I was in my studio, this is a bedroom that I've set up since I moved into my new home, so it's quite a lot less space than I had when I was in my studio, and I could kind of spread out in the studio, and it really gave me a lot of room to be able to do all of this kind of stuff. But this is the first time I've actually done a pour in my, what I'll call my bedroom studio, because I have one of the bedrooms in my house is set up for my painting and my art, and be able to do this type of thing. But there's not a lot of room in it, so bummer, huh? All right, now I'm gonna, this far one, I'm gonna kind of mix it together, and you're gonna just see how I spread it around, and I'm gonna do the others like that too, but the film is gonna take a jump because I did have to cut out some of it because I actually just walked in front of you and all you could see is my backside. So I just cut it out so that because you couldn't see anything anyway. And then it'll jump right to where it's been done. But you can kind of see how I'm doing the back canvas and just mixing them in together, and it's like playing in mud. And just kind of make sure that you drag them across the canvas long ways, or like across the width of the canvas. And like I say here, I just jumped ahead. So you can see I mixed them all in together, and you can kind of see as it goes across each canvas and that. So once I kind of get my sides worked in and everything worked across, you can kind of see on your closest canvas how it's actually forming the cells from the silicone into like a watery, bubbly sort of look. And once I get everything that's kind of on the sides and that, then I'll use my white to kind of pour across right about where the colors begin to blend with each other. I'm going to pour white all the way across all three of them. Just a line of it. You can basically do this with, any colors in that too, and it would be pretty any other way. But this certainly looks like an ocean spray with these colors. So, and here goes your... Now, see how I'm taking the stick and showing you that? That's actually what I should have done. I just poured it with a cup, and I actually should have taken the stick and just kind of put the paint on it and then just strode it across this. But I found I needed a lot more paint, I probably should have made it a little thinner than what it was. But this is the first time I've done one of these, so what the heck did I know? I have done ocean pours before, but this is the first time that I've done the waves in it. So don't ever be afraid to try something, because, hey, you can always scrape the canvases, take the paint off, and start over again. So it's never a loss. You're always learning, and that's the only way that you do learn how to do something. So if you like this process, try it. I suggest that you go into probably YouTube and look for the beginning of pouring, and it will tell you how to mix your paint and to mix in silicone and what products to use. So now you can see I'm taking the hair blower, and I actually am blowing it from the base of where the white is. Because I didn't have a whole lot of paint here, I found it hard to blow the paint upward. So I had to add more paint. And I wish the hair blower blew a little bit harder, but it doesn't. But or it was a little thinner. Like I say, I could have actually made the paint a little thinner, put a little bit of water in it or something like that. You don't want to use a lot of water, but I could have added a little water and made the paint a little thinner, and it would have blown a whole lot better, especially in the white paint. And I actually think once this all dries, because it's so thick, it's going to take about a week to really kind of get dry. I think I might add a little bit more white to it as a thinner type of paint. But here I'm just kind of blowing the white up into the color above it, and it is able to blow a little bit better coming up, so you'll see. But it's beginning to look like a spray where the water the water hits the shore and it kind of sprays up. I'll just have you watch what's going on, and you will see that some is a little easier than others, but like I say, don't ever get discouraged, because you can always add another, let it dry a little bit and add another white line and spray it up a little bit and thin out that paint a little bit. On my hair blower, a lot of the hair blowers come with that type of an attachment. I couldn't find mine, so I added a paper cup and then put on a aluminum tape that they use for furnaces and that type of stuff. And I just taped it all around there, because furnaces do get hot, and this kind of tape will withstand the heat. So I put the furnace tape on it and wrapped the cup, and I could kind of bend it into an elongated type thing, so that it would kind of blow on the sides like this. But a lot of hair blowers already have this attachment that you can use for your hair. So if you have one, make sure that you keep it, and you can use it for this. It makes it a lot easier. You can see it's beginning to look a little bit like waves, which is really kind of cool. Now it's beginning to look like a bunch of waves hitting the shore, just kind of frothing up on that shore edge. Like I say, the colors are the big thing that I wanted, but I wanted to kind of look like it's just a bunch of waves coming up on the shore. And like I say, when I get the bottom done, I'm going to add more white on the bottom, because I do kind of want it white. I will leave a little bit of the sand color at the bottom, And then when this is dry, I will, like I say, put in a little bit of Mod Podge, and while it's wet, I will put some sand and some shells, and I do kind of want to use the, oh, I can't think of the name of it right now. Resin, I'm sorry, it just totally blanked out. I want to use resin over the top so that it looks wet, and I will seal it with the resin, and then I will frame it in the white. Very simple frame all the way around. The painting itself will look like it's floating in the frame. So, and then I will put them up on the wall in this order that you see that I've poured them. So I think it'll look really nice, especially we do have a pool and we just put lights in the pool. So I think just being in the house and coming in and seeing this and then the pool just outside the door, I think it'll look good. I hope so. Like I say, most of the things that I'm doing now, I'm actually doing for my house, mainly because I don't have my studio anymore since we moved. Well, COVID kind of took care of the classes in the studio, but it has also given me an opportunity to do some of the things that I wanted to do for myself. So it's good and it's bad. I do miss my students. I miss my studio. But I guess it has to be. So I can see I'm kind of blowing that bottom part right up into it. And I just wanted to leave some of the sand on the bottom, like the water has come up on the shore. I can't wait to get them up on the wall. Very excited to see all of this done. You know, when you start it, you never really know what a pour is going to look like until you're done. You have a certain amount of control over it, and you also don't have a certain amount of control over it. And that's the interesting thing about fluid art, is that there's an element of surprise. You have control over, you know, your canvas, what size canvas, what colors you use, what technique you use. You have control over a lot, but there's still that element of surprise, and that's what's so fabulous about it, is that, you know, it's like opening a package. You just don't know what you're going to get. So it's fun. If you haven't tried it, you need to. You can kind of see how each canvas blends into the other one across the whole thing. So I will post, eventually I will post when I get it up on the walls, but it'll be a while before I do, because I've got to wait until this completely dries. It'll take about a week for this to get dry enough where I can put a little bit more white on it. And then, like I say, I will put the sand on it. And then that has to dry really, really well, and it could take quite a while for it to totally dry like that. And then I'll put the resin on it. And then, like I say, after that's done, I have to make frames for all three of these. It's not hard to make frames either. It just takes time to do it. And it's really kind of neat. But again, my name is Kathy Morgan, and I hope you enjoyed this little video, kind of show you how to make your own ocean spray